Morning guys, it's a little bit after 6 a.m. It's still too dark to really get good, decent quality film. So I'm going to set the sluice up and then come back and tell you what's going on today once the sun pokes its head over that horizon. What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospect. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. It's great to see your smiling face, and if you're an old moldy hat like this one, welcome back. Today I've got two amazing things to show you. The best single purchase ever made at a garage sale, and we're going to try and break a record. I'm being overly optimistic here. We are back in my glory hole deposit. Now this glory hole deposit has so far yielded 11 grams of gold, and my ambitious goal for today is to get over 2.12 grams of gold. That was the single largest cleanup we had from this spot. So if we can beat that, it'll be an absolute stonking day. The test pans that I've run here have stayed pretty consistently. We are dealing with mustard gold, so there's lots of it, but it's super fine, which means we need to push through a lot of shovels to get that weight up. I'm out here with the Gold Wrap Mini 6. I've got the river sluice extension on the front to make sure that we do catch any of that fine mustard gold that might be floating on top of the surface tension. But that's enough of listening to my amazingly manly voice on this freezing cold morning. Let's turn the pump on and get cracking. My first test pan has come out of this hole here. We're getting about 30 or 40 microspecks of mustard gold, and that streak continues down to some of the test pans I took down here. I'm theorizing that in there is my 2.13 grams of gold. I'd run about 10 shovels worth of dirt through the high banker, and I discovered where the bedrock drops off. Exactly what I was hoping for at the start of this film. I took my first few shovels out here, and then the bedrock just sheared away and it ended up down the bottom there. There's lots of clay. Took a test pan and we found about the same amount of gold, so it's all super fine. This does not bode well for the 2.13 grams I need to beat my previous record from this spot. Now, from what I can tell about the spot over there, it's not quite right. It's all superfine gold, and I love superfine gold if you're getting like 100, 150 specks a shovel, but I'm getting about 30, and it would take a long time for it to add up. On top of that, there's not much soil on top of the bedrock, which means I think I'm going to move spots slightly. We're going to go from over there to over here. Some time ago I came and took a test channel out of this spot, and I found some really nice gold up there. There is a far larger quantity of soil sitting on top of this bedrock on the inside bend, so I think this is the spot that I'm going to try and get my 2 grams. This is what I was talking about. This is why we move spots. We were working just there. And by moving the 15 meters back, we've gone from 30 nanodots to beautiful specks absolutely everywhere. There'd be easily about 200 specks in that pan. Most of it's fine, but we've got some of that nice cool stuff. This is the sort of gold that you can get multi-gram days on if you've got enough dirt. And we got enough dirt, baby. We definitely got enough dirt. In total this morning between the two spots I've run maybe 35 to 40 shovels worth of dirt, and I like to do a clean out of the miner's moss at around this point, around 50 shovels, because what that allows me to do is see what kind of heavies I'm getting, what kind of gold I'm getting, and it gives me a chance to clear out one of the capture sections on my sluice. And we've got some pretty decent results. That's the result from just those few shovels, somewhere between 30 and 40 shovels, and only out of the miner's moss. We can reasonably expect to get about that much again from in the matting. And we've got a nice mix of coarse and super fine gold, which means that this should weigh up pretty good. Whoa! Everyone hold up. We need a coffee before we get going, because it's 9:30 in the morning and I haven't had breakfast yet. Yeah. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I don't know where you get them. Just someone got rid of it. Why would you get rid of this thing? I'm going to use this thing to feed my river sluice. I'm going to use this thing every time I go hiking. It's going to live in my car or my backpack. It's going to live with me. Having me coffee, and I had a thought about working deposits, and that is that it's really important to go slow and steady. Lots of people get very excited, understandably, when they find really good gold in a large quantity. And it can get easy to get carried away and just work like a madman and make all kinds of mistakes that will make it harder for you to mine the deposit as a whole. My suggestion is this: when you first arrive at your deposit, think about exactly where you're going to set your sluice up, so tailings don't go on top of areas that you're going to be working potentially in the future. Identify these with test pans. This will also help you identify the best parts of your deposit, because the gold will fluctuate throughout a deposit. Make sure that you spend some time looking for things that might indicate those better deposits, like bedrock shelves that drop off, maybe obstructions or large tree roots. All these things could lend themselves to having better pockets of gold within the area that you're working. And these sort of things take time, so really sit back, have a coffee, and look at the area that you're working, and in the end it will make it a much easier task for you to get the gold out of the ground, as opposed to just going in there and digging like a madman. the sun has come out, the temperature is warmed up, jumpers are off, and we're about to do the first full cleanup. So we're going to do both tree mats and the miner's moss, and we're going to see what we got for our about 75 to 80 shovel run. The thing with this pump is it's slightly underpowered. It works fine, it's catching gold, there's no issue with that. You've seen the mustard gold that's come out of this sluice in previous videos, but it doesn't allow for proper agitation of the cells, and therefore ironstone and black sand seem to clog them up a little bit, and that's when you start blowing gold out. I did a little bit of a test pan from my sluice tailings down the end there, and I'm running about 3 specks per pan of ultra fine mustard, which means that I'm losing about 4 to 5% worth of the gold that's going through the sluice in my fine tailings, and that is bordering on the unacceptable for me, so that's why we're going to do the clean out. This is the concentrates we're left with, and just check out the color already popping out in that corner. This is going to be good. I'm going to go a really super rough cleanup and show you what gold we got. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the gold we got for our first run. Again, there is a lot of gold down the bottom here just because of the cleanup. There's so much black sand and so much mustard gold, it's quite difficult to separate it easily on the creek. And on that note, a lot of people question what I do with cleanups and stuff, and my theory is this. You can only dig gold while you're on the creek. You can't do that at home, but you can clean up while you're at home. So spend your time digging and collecting concentrates, and just do it at home in front of the fire or the TV, and enjoy the process of cleaning up. Don't waste your time when you could be collecting gold on the creek, cleaning gold you've already got. From what I could see of that cleanup, I reckon we're probably just under a gram at the moment. I don't know if there's going to be enough dirt to even reach 2 at this stage, but we're going to put everything back together and run a few more and just see what we can come out with. I've run about 50 more shovels, which is good. Now, is there any more gold in there? Letting the mats do just a tiny little bit of self-cleaning with some fresh water running over the top of it. I've even rerun about 15 shovels of my tailings back through, just in case there was some gold that escaped. It will hopefully get caught on that second pass. So I'm going to pull those mats and show you the gold. Here you go. There we go. That's what we got for our 50-ish shovel run. Not as much as last time, which means that I think we're damn near well done this whole deposit. I like it. I've consistently been working this deposit now for maybe the last 10 sessions on and off camera, and like I said, we've pulled out 11 grams so far, so whatever we get today is probably going to be the end of it. We'll be close to the half ounce, probably 12 grams, maybe 12.5 grams, something like that, and that's a stonking amount of gold. For not overly much work, I've probably only moved maybe 2 to 2.5 cubic meters of soil. Well guys, there you have it. Check out the gold we got in total for today. I would guess there's about a gram there. I'll leave the total amount of gold that we got at the bottom, both in Australian dollars and in grams, so you can see just how much we got for about 150 shovels. And even if there's only a gram or a little bit less there, it's still better than a kick in the teeth. It's a stonking day out here prospecting, and I've had an absolute blast with Grizzly and you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. Remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you aren't already. Whack that bell, smash it, do whatever you like to it so you do not miss out on my next video. All right, I'm gonna go home, put my feet up, probably edit this video. Peace, and I'm out. I'll tell you what, if you want to know how fit prospecting keeps you, I've burnt 2,512 calories since 6 AM and it's 12. So in 6 hours I've done more than the daily intake of a normal human. It's a lot of digging.